Radio Clash. What I'm looking at today is 2019's Radio Flash, which I want to say Quarter Flash so badly. You know, the band that sings Heart in My Heart. Great song, by the way. In any case, Radio Flash, the term comes from the sound radio transmitters used to make when an EMP or a nuclear device is set off. It's chiefly a European term, so it's not one you often hear in the United States. In fact, this movie is the first time I've ever heard the term, "This is a shockingly good movie." It's how this got under the radar, I have no idea, but this is such a good movie. The movie revolves around some nuclear event. You don't know who did it, you don't know where it was done, except and obviously in the proximity of these people that I'm going to be speaking of, and you don't know why it was done. Those things are irrelevant because, well, it's not irrelevant. It is what initiates action, but it's irrelevant in the sense that this is a human story. And the detonation of a nuclear device, which again is not even seen in the movie. You see some of the results of it, as in people moving away from larger cities. But that's it. You don't see mushroom clouds. You don't see anything getting wiped off the map. All you know is that something has happened and people are responding to it. The movie revolves around this father and his daughter. The father played by Dominic Monaghan from Lost, Lord of the Rings, and so on, and Brighton Sherbino, who plays his daughter Reese. And they have a father played by the great Will Patton. The man has such a gravitas and an air about him. He has this voice that sounds like rusty nails, but it's such a powerful, persuasive voice. He lives in the country, and Dominic Monaghan's character, whose name is Chris, thinks his dad's a little bit odd. He doesn't think he's crazy or anything, but he thinks a little bit off the beaten path as well. He's a bit of a survivalist, and what he tells Reese and Chris is to come to his cabin so that he can give them a place to live, because as I mentioned earlier, people had begun evacuating the cities en masse. And the bulk of the movie revolves around Reese and Chris trying to reach Will Patton. And this is where the movie shines so much. I don't know who Brighton Sherbino is, and I don't recognize her beyond this movie, but she has such a presence and a strength about her. She imbues this character with such a sense of strength, quiet strength, that it's just fascinating to watch. And it's not like she's a survivalist type at all. She's just a very bright, inquisitive person. And it works so well. And she doesn't turn to some type of scavenger or something like that. She's just a person trying to reach her grandfather. What I like a lot about Radio Flash is that it doesn't glamorize or exaggerate the potential problems people trying to escape any major city would encounter. There's some bad people Reese and Chris run into, but at the same time, they're realistically bad people. They don't have any particular agenda. They're set in their ways. In many instances, they're raised in places outside of large cities, and they're kind of like, when you hear about poor in Appalachia, I would imagine these type of people are what you're talking about. They're not creepy. Well, they actually are a little creepy in this movie, but they're not evil for the sense of evil. They have their own values, their own codes, and unfortunately those values and codes conflict with what we would consider important. But it's such a well shot, it's such a well told movie that, once again, I'm shocked to be just learning about Radio Flash. Another thing I enjoy is that it's a relatively simple story. It's not at all complex. There's not a lot of characters in it. There are characters who come in and out of Chris and Reese's life. But on the whole, it's essentially a 3 or 4 person character piece. And my God, Radio Flash just works. It's currently airing on Hulu, and if you have not seen it, check it out. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. Peace.